relatable rush. Let's get on to the rush. I'm rushing at the University of Alabama too. Bama rush talk, roll tide.
Enjoy this compilation of Bama Morgan and her 2 times rushing at the University of Alabama with NPC. Now, I'm doing all of this editing for you to understand how many cringy things she said on the internet at a time in which you're trying to make the best impression, and you still put all this content out here. Sometimes less is more or nothing at all. Please enjoy.
Morgan, you can do this. You're gonna rush so hard. You're gonna outrush all the other girls. I have a whole lot of money. I'm broke. Normalize having a job too. I've never seen a rush talk girly say, oh, I gotta go work. I'm gonna outrush everybody. On convocation, my OOTD, this is a feat. I deserve an award for this. I did not see another girl wear this skirt, which is like saying something. I did not see a single soul wearing a purple Vineyard Vine skirt. Nobody. I was the only one. Where's my trophy? I deserve an award because clearly I saw something nobody else did. And my outfit of the day is actually really cute. I snapped. I did good in my house. Walked out like through, so I had to do a second girl, but I did really good. I get all the money. I know that. Anybody who smiles at these videos after they're done rushing is crazy. And I just couldn't find my orange juice. Like, it was bad. She had to... I used to make fun of girls when, like, they would drop, like, the first day. I'm you. You guys yell at me whenever I say it wrong, but, like, Greek is extinct for a reason. The Greek language is no longer spoke for a very good reason. If I get there and I don't have a house today, I'm gonna lose it. Day 5 or 6 of rush week. It is day 6 or 7 of rush week. Update. My Rokai just did not call me at 6:30, so I did not receive a bid or an invitation back, which is really hard.
Glaring big issue out the way. Why was she even going to University of Alabama to be a part of sororities? Like, sweetie, you have to be very honest about what your aesthetic is and what the aesthetic of what you're trying to join also is. And then with Alabama, you really have to factor in it costs money to be a part of these sororities. Way more than it seemed like you even had. And maybe that's why you were influencing to afford it, but no. First thing you said in this first video, you're going to outrush everyone? Have you lost your senses? Like, I understand she's 18 when she's doing this, but my God, this is why you shouldn't be on the internet popping off at the mouth. You don't know what you're going to say that's going to be foot to mouth, a bad impression to someone. And you did that for me just on the first video. Like that right there, yeah, we're going to make sure to cut her immediately. Truly serious about relatable rush. She would have went to a relatable school with relatable sorority chapters where she saw herself there and it had relatable dues that were, affordable, that girls could be working and go to school and still afford it. But that's not what you wanted to do here. It strikes me as you weren't popular in high school, so you thought you could go sit at the popular girls' table in college and it was going to be all fine. It's like, if you would have just been brutally honest with yourself for a few seconds about yourself, them, you could have avoided all of this. If that wasn't glaring enough, you also are displaying so many moments of just pure ignorance and arrogance. Like the moment when you don't actually want to know the sororities' names, how to pronounce them correctly. Greek is still spoken in Greece, my dear. It's honestly reminiscent of Kelsey from making the team Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders and how many years it took her to make the team because of her interview.
How many yards on a football field?
There are 50.
50 yards on the football field.
I got noticed in a bad way by not knowing the organization and humiliating myself.
I'm not going to spend any time on the outfits because, again, if she would have went to a relatable school, those would have been perfectly acceptable, and the huge thing would have been the difference of what's coming out of her mouth and her personality, which, again, if she would have been at a relatable school, she could have easily related to these girls, and it wouldn't have been so awkward or weird. It would have just been your kind of people. Last part on this first rush cycle that she did is once it was a crash and burn, why weren't you even looking at transferring schools for the spring semester that had spring recruitment and it was a relatable school, and then you could have chalked it up as just an experience of, oh, now I know what this is like, I know how to prepare, and I can be ready for the spring, and get offline and just reinvent yourself at that school. And honestly, you could still record the content, but don't post it until after bid day.
I'm so happy to announce that I will be doing a Road to Rush series over the course of the summer to prepare for sorority recruitment this upcoming August. And I really want to do the Road to Rush videos so that other girls who will be rushing with me can follow along with me, and we can sort of go through the prep for Bama Rush 2024 together. Get ready with me to film my Bama Rush 2024 announcement video. That's crazy to say. Really wanted to rush again because I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier for me this year because I kind of know what I'm doing. Hey Morgan, you owe the government $3,000. What are you doing looking on the Louis Vuitton website? I know. However, I have been working hard to sell some of my old stuff from my childhood room, and if I get enough, I will be buying a Louis Vuitton never full. I didn't think anybody actually watched these videos. Now you may be saying, Morgan, like, what the heck did you think you were filming it for? I don't know what I thought I was filming this video for. I deserved to be dropped last year. So last year when I rushed, I did not care which house I got because I just wanted a house. And this year it is the same exact way. I just want a house. I don't care which one it is. I have absolutely zero preference. I will run home to whoever wants me. 2 or 3 weeks before I get a return on this. And I can't, because it's like a $300 dress. Sometimes I'll have girls walk up to me like, oh, you're Bama Morgan. And I always try to give them like a teletie or something when they leave, just because, you know, it's fun to get like a little something. We have packed our rush bag for Convocation Day. This is all that you will need, I promise. Day 1, Convocation Day, OOTD. Day 2 in Philanthropy, Day 1. Day 3 in Philanthropy, Day 2. Today is Day 4 of Bama Rush and Day 3 of Philanthropy. This is Day 5 of Bama Rush and Day 1 of Sisterhood. Day 6 of Bama Rush and Day 2 of Sisterhood is Bama Rush, Day 7 and Sisterhood, Day 3. Day 8 of Bama Rush and Day 1 of Preference. And today is Bid Day, or the best day. I was notified earlier this morning that I was dropped from primary recruitment and I will not be returning for Sisterhood.
How relatable Rush is now out the window. She's now performing the way she needs to perform for that particular space. She's finally dressing and acting the way she needs to. Now, if she would have been doing that the first time, she could have easily gotten a bid, possibly. But then the question would be, could she afford to do that? Would the influencing have taken off? There's a lot of questions there. But as I said before, I just think she should have went to a more relatable school, and then she could have just simply been herself. Unfortunately, her rushing twice put a target on her back in a bad way. Between you knowing what the look is, like, I would have definitely lost the weight in a year. You had a year to lose the weight. You also had a year to make sure your GPA was still high, which apparently that wasn't. You also had a year to get to know these girls in a real, genuine way, that by the time you got to Rush, you could have had friends in all the different homes, especially the houses that you actually wanted to be a part of. This whole, I want whoever wants me, that gives desperate, my dear, and no one wants anyone desperate. Unfortunately, you did so much damage in that first cycle of rushing, plus whatever else happened in your freshman year, that it didn't matter that you made all these changes between the look and the performing. And that's really unfortunate, but like I said, you really should have not gone to that school, different experience. And I would also say that if you really wanted to do the content creation, you really needed to have patience. She could have did this type of content with more polish to it a year after she had been in the sorority, and it's recruitment cycle again, and to help the girls that would have been like her. They would have been kind of awkward, not knowing anything. This content would have been so good for those types of girls. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Feel free to click around and watch something else. But until then, I'll catch you in the next one, or we'll connect in Discord. Until then, bye!